All right, guys, what's going on? It's Off Days TV out here at Oak Mountain today, doing a little bit of training for the upcoming Oak Ass 50-mile race. This will be my first XC race and my first time ever doing 50 miles. So far, the most miles I've ever done is 44 miles, which that was brutal. So I can't even imagine what 50 miles is going to be like. Yeah, so I've been training XC since late June. We'll call it July. I'm pretty sure it was that first week of July I really started. Before July, I struggled even doing 8 to 10 miles. So definitely come a long way. I think now I feel pretty good about doing 20 miles just about every single ride. It's a little harder to do 30 miles. It's a little more of an effort, but 20 miles is like the sweet spot. The goal for the Oak Ass Epic for me is to start off kind of strong, just to get just to kind of get in place and then evenly pace from there. I've never done 50 miles, so I really don't even know what my pace is gonna be. This is the bike I'll be using. It is a Da Vinci Troy, which is technically a trail bike. It's 140 in the front, 130 in the rear. It's got flat pedals and it's a 27.5. So not the most optimal bike for an XC race, but it'll do. I'm entering the men's 30 to 39 category. I don't have much time. It's going to be in a little over a week. And yeah, pretty nervous. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. First ever XC race. It's 50 miles. I've never even done 50 miles. So I really just want to complete it, but also I want to go as fast as possible.
Set, go! None for L. That's not official fireball. That's up to you. Ready, set, go! None for L.
All right, so my plan originally was to kind of go hard at the beginning and then pace myself after that. So right now I'm trying to keep up with the main group, trying to go kind of hard and trying to find a good placement. And that way I'm not having to pass so many people in the middle of the race. And right here I'm feeling really good. Not breathing too hard. The flow and the cadence is pretty smooth, so I'm like, you know what, I got this. Peep the dude's calves in front of me. Like, that should have been my sign that I'm about to get dropped. And so you can already see the little breakaway points happening. The herd is starting to thin out a little bit, starting to form a line. And so this is where my breathing starts to kick up a little bit more. I think right now I'm pushing too hard to try to keep up with these guys, whereas I should have just had some self-control and should have just been like, all right, let me slow down a little bit. And you can see this right now is where I think I'm having that realization that, like, damn, there ain't no way I can keep up with these guys. So I'm really starting to, like, let myself kind of fall back behind this main group A. I want to keep them in my sights, but I just know that there's no way I can keep up with at least the main 10 people. Like, there is no way. They are just way faster than me. that we're descending, the line really starts to form, and you can kind of see where everyone's placement is. And this is the first hill of the race, and this is where I started to realize, like, oh shit, like these people are starting to go pretty hard, and I don't want to burn myself out. I've never even done 50 miles. And so the main leaders are really starting to pull away. I mean, I'm really starting to lose some ground, and I'm pushing hard. Like, this is hard for me, so I should have taken this as a sign. Now, this dude right here in the white bike next to me and him battled it out for like the first 20 miles. You'll see him later in the video. It was pretty fun trading licks with him the entire time. So kind of bottlenecks going into Johnson's Mountain. And this moment in the race is where it's solidified, like, hey, you got 30 people in front of you. If you can pass them, you're going to have to pass them later on, because there's no way you're going to be able to pass them on the single track. You can already hear my breathing start to pick up, so I'm pushing way too hard. One thing that I've heard from XC people and people who race often is a lot of people will jump the gun in the beginning, and as a noob, you're gonna see that and you're gonna feel like you need to catch up or keep up with them, when in reality, you don't know if they're even gonna complete the race. You don't know how long they can do it. You don't know what their experience is. So honestly, the best idea is to stick to your personal plan. Don't worry about people sprinting off the line in front of you. That's one of the biggest lessons I wish I would have learned beforehand, because I learned it the hard way on this race. Because me trying to sprint and keep up with the big dogs killed so much energy that wasn't really necessary. If I would have just evenly paced, I think I would have done a lot better in the race. So you can see the breakaway point really start to happen. The gap between us and that main group is really starting to grow. And to pass someone on a climb, you have to spend so much energy doing it. I think she's got the right idea, the girl in front of us too, is she's evenly pacing, and she ends up destroying me in the race, so clearly she knew something that I didn't.
Anybody back there want to get around?
Yeah, I can.
And so here's me passing these people thinking I'm doing the right thing. But to pass them, I have to,
Appreciate it.
you know, put some more power down, and that increased the heart rate. So you'll start seeing me pay for that here shortly. And so I actually ride these trails weekly, so I know about how fast I normally do them.
Yeah, you got it.
And I'm doing this at a way higher pace than I've ever done it before, which is not good for an endurance race, at least for me. As you can see, my energy levels are really starting to decline, and I'm really starting to get in my head like, dude, there's no way I can keep this up for 50 miles. There's literally no way. I'm already starting to, not bonk, but really just gas out. I mean, at this point, the first group is just completely gone. There is no chance of catching back up with them. Yeah, so my next race, I'm definitely going to let everyone go in front of me, and I'll just pass them throughout the race, because this was not the strategy, or not the right strategy for me. We're finally getting some downhill action going. This is where my strengths are. I come from enduro and downhill, so of course, this is where I'm going to make up my time. Which, come to find out in the XC, that doesn't really matter how fast you are on the downhill. That does not win the races. The races are won with the climbs. As you can see, the people in front of me are basically out of the camera's view, so they are long gone. I'm doing everything I can to make up some ground here. Alright, so this is where the second downhill starts. I was kind of starting to catch this dude on the climb, and I think he also went a little too hard in the beginning, because he was really starting to slow down his pace. So my goal was like, look, just keep him in sight, and you'll have a pretty good pace going. So the descending is where I really start to catch on to his wheel. This is such a fun section of trail. So I've finally caught up with this guy. So my goal from here is, look, just stay on his wheel. He'll be a good pace to, he'll have a good pace just for me to sort of latch on to. But as you can tell, my breathing has picked up a lot. I think I'm still pushing a little too hard right here. Mind you, we're only like 2 miles into the race of a 50-mile race, so we still have a lot to go. And the climbing sections we're not even close to them yet. So there's still some huge climbs. So anyone that races XC, I think you can tell I'm pretty much doomed. So at this point, this guy was going, you know, slow enough for it was holding me up. So I really needed to pass him right here so I can kind of just flow with this trail.
Oh, yeah, sure. Give me a second. All right, no, you're good. Take your time. Maybe a good spot. Come out here real clear. All right.
Something that I was nervous about with XC races was passing people and people not allowing you to pass, but
I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
what I found at this race is everyone's really cool about letting you pass. I mean, it's 50 miles, so why would you stop someone from passing you? And so, very thankful for all the generous people out there who just allowed you to pass when you needed to. But see, like, this flow stuff is my strength. So, like, as long as there's no one in front of me, I feel like I can get pretty good times here. It's just the climbing is where I really need to put in some work and really get some training done. One thing I kept doing in this race, which I'm not going to do in future races, is I kept looking behind me just to see how far back everyone was, and I think subconsciously that slowed me down, and it also took my focus away from the trail. So definitely not going to do that in the future races. I'm just going to look forwards and just focus on what's in front of me. I think looking at people catching up to you really plays with your psyche, and yeah, I'm not going to do that anymore. And then we go to one of my favorite sections. So right here is where I'm starting to feel pretty good. Like, my breathing has evened out. I'm not huffing and puffing as hard anymore. I'm flowing, I'm having fun. So this part right here was starting to give me some hope. You can still kind of hear me breathing pretty hard, but it's not like desperately huffing and puffing like I was climbing Johnson's. One thing to note too is I don't normally ride with people or behind people. I usually ride solo. So riding behind all these people in the dust, I did not realize how bad that was gonna make your mouth dry out. Like, I was already thirsty and had a cotton mouth at this moment. I think you can see me reach for my water nozzle here in a second. Yeah, right. I'm trying to get it open, and I just could not get this thing open in time. So I was like, you know what? I'll just wait to hydrate. And here's Eileen's perspective. Literally looks like I'm chilling. But when you see it from the GoPro, this is how it actually felt in real life. And now we're going into arguably my least favorite trail at Oak Mountain. It's called Rattlesnake Ridge. It is just rooty, twisty, turny, feels like it's uphill the entire time. I mean, I hate this trail, and this trail really did its number on me in this race. It's kind of hard to see the roots, but trust me, this trail is rooty. Especially for a 27.5. I mean, if I had a 29er, it might be a different story.
I'll let you pass right here. Thank you. Have a good one. You too.
So there's that guy with the white bike right there. So he paced himself better on Johnson's, so that way he had more power on Rattlesnake. So as you can see, the gap between me and him is slowly starting to get bigger and bigger. He's dropping me like 1 inch at a time, and I can feel it in the race. I really got to let my ego aside, because I think my ego is what ruined me. Just seeing someone drop you and you try to push harder to keep up with them is one of the biggest flaws I had in this race that really destroyed me. Yeah, you see, this trail is just relentlessly rooty. I mean, there's just so many roots. And as you can see, he is completely out of my view. He has officially dropped me. The climbs is where he was really starting to gain some ground on me. And so this part of the trail is where it starts to get nice and flowy, get some downhill sections. So I think this is where I'm starting to catch back up with him a little bit. He's still out of sight for the most part, but I feel like I was starting to make up some good ground on him. Looking back on the footage and just the fact that I PR'd this trail, it just shows I was pushing way too hard. I mean, you can hear it in my breathing. I shouldn't be breathing this hard this early into a 50-mile race, especially when we still have 2,500 feet of climbing to do. Maybe even like 3,000 from this point. We ended up doing like 4,500-ish feet of elevation this today, so... And that all happens basically at the very end of this race. At this point, he has pretty much dropped me again. Now we're finally at a wide open area, and this is where I'm like, all right, let me drink as much water as possible. I really should have ate something right here too. Wish I would have had a gel or something like that just to go ahead and get one in my system.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I tried to chug as much water as possible right there. So something cool about this race is that there's a lot of flowy sections. So while it's tiring, it's still a lot of fun. I feel like I'm kind of pushing just a little too hard right here. Because right after this, I still have 7 bridges, and then I have to climb Slingshot. Boom. Man, the grip on the Recon race tires is so good. They roll fast, they grip well. Like, so far I've been really satisfied. Finally riding this man's tail. And you can tell he was really starting to slow down his pace, but it's kind of a smart move because we still have a lot more race to go. I think we still have like 40 more miles to go at this point.
Racer's back. Appreciate it. Got a lot more. Hey.
Yep, so at this point, he just let me pass him. I think he was getting kind of tired. And 7 bridges and Slingshot, which is what you're seeing here, is really where, I don't know what I was thinking, but I guess I got a boost of confidence and a boost of adrenaline for keeping up with that guy and passing him, that I start going kind of hard on 7 bridges and Slingshot, and that is ultimately what made me bonk when I ended up getting the Belcher. Unfortunately, my camera only lasted up until Slingshot, so there's, it doesn't go too much longer than this. But I can say that This first 15-mile stretch of the race, I was just pushing way too freaking hard. Like, way too hard. As you can tell, my heavy breathing has picked back up. 7 Bridges is tight, windy, rooty, and it's got some climbs here and there. Nothing crazy, but enough to tire you out. And you can already starting to see him starting to sweat a good bit, which normally I don't sweat that much on like a 20-ish mile ride, so that was basically a sign that I was in for a bonk. I'd be pretty curious to know how far that Group A was in front of me, because they were nowhere near in sight. Like, I mean, the dust had already settled too by the time I got to it, so they were probably 30 minutes ahead of me. And boom, this is where my camera died. So we swapped to Eileen's footage. She is positioned after the first major climb, which is called Belcher Byway. It's a 1.6 mile climb that's, I think it's around 600 feet, and it's fairly tech. So these are all the people that are in front of me. There's that girl, so she ended up passing me. Here's me. I am absolutely dead. You can see it in my face. I'm on my way to the Red Road climb, which was, oh my god, I bonked so hard. Ended up finishing the 50 miles. I wasn't too happy about it. As you can see, I'm shaking my head. Because, dude, the bonk was honestly embarrassing. I paced like a freaking idiot, and that's one of my biggest regrets. Seriously, so I ended up averaging exactly 9 miles an hour on the race. I finished the race in like 5 hours and 40-something minutes, which is a lot slower than my training. But hey, one lesson to learn here.
Our race winner is 35 years old.
Is if you finish a race, you still have a chance of getting on the podium.
Sponsors, take a look at this guy. The winning time was sub 5. He finished 4:35.06. Our race winner, Taylor Rice.
Yeah, so this dude ended up smoking us by roughly an hour and 10 minutes. So, yeah.
All right, that's our top men's. That's surprising.
Oh, yeah, I would never do it. I told you, I knew it.
Wow.
Okay, it looks like I have the results now.
How was hopping? Wow. How?
They're all in.
I believe